The Hive. It's a well-known server among all of Minecraft, although its golden days on Java are far behind us. However, on Bedrock, it still continues to rise in popularity, having tens of thousands of players on at one time. It is undoubtedly the most popular server on Bedrock Edition, and if you play on Bedrock, it's likely you've heard of it or played on it. Although it is so well known, there are some things that aren't really known about it, like communities such as the Discords. The YouTubers all group together in a small but large for its age community. Hive Speedrunning. Hive Speedrunning is self-explanatory. You speedrun the Hive minigames. It has gotten unbelievable attention over the past several months, with a video surpassing even over 1 million views. There's over 1,600 runs and over 330 hours to watch on the leaderboards. For those of you that don't know, I was the one that actually started the Hive Speedrunning leaderboards back in September. Even though I'm no longer a mod, this was key for me to make this video, as I have the most information possible on this. So let's go back to September 2020, the time this all started. I had been focused on the speedrun community for about 5 months already, and was still looking for new things to do. Servers were starting to be added on the website, but there was one missing: the Hive. I got right to it, contacting the Minecraft speedrunning leaders and requesting it. On September 25th, 2020, it was added. It exploded right there from the start, amassing loads of players immediately. It was too hard to keep up with, so there were other mods added, some of which still stand here today. But that's enough. Let's get to the real history. Hive speedrunning can date as far back as 2 years ago. Possibly even more than that, with parkour speedruns and other little runs on the big games. It wasn't really until about 7 months ago where speedrunning the server became popular without the webpage. Sharks332, Dicey's, Pizzas, and others were the first to start it. They did a few Treasure Wars speedruns, and with thousands of people's viewing those, it got a little more popular. It was almost 2 months later when the webpage was created and things started going up. Mods submitted runs that had been created previous to the leaderboard being created, and decent times were up immediately due to that. Aspiring new runners from other servers came and started running, and some got good times pretty fast. Big names like Potato Pie and Dicey's appeared on the leaderboards, and a runner, Potato Forever 1737, got a 1-minute 15-second run right off the bat. It was an impressive start with so much grinding already happening. The community was happy with what was happening. The Discord was growing incredibly fast, and Potato Pie happened to make a video on the community, which caused a spike in the amount of players. Out of nowhere, the community exploded to become one of the top games out on the website. It was surprising that a fast-growing YouTuber would make an overview of this, and it was pleasing. More categories were added and more things were happening. This was a tournament and a SMP added to the community, and it allowed more activity to happen among members. Something as small as just trying to complete minigames grew to have a wholesome and supportive community that put quite a lot into just having their name at the top of a leaderboard. As new people came in, there was something a lot of people were asking: where is Death Run? The answer to this was that Hive Speedrunning did not start during September 2020. It started years before that, as only Hive Death Run and Hive MC Dropper. It was more popular years before today and was much less known as its popularity had died away. It was confusing among members as Death Run wasn't there and that it was a different page, but there was nothing done about it. But people carried on with the categories at hand and available. Hive staff even became interested and joined the Discord to watch things happen and even try their own speedruns. The community truly had been growing to a large and diverse group. Skywars emerged as the most popular category out of the few there. The top 3 were within less than 3 seconds of each other, and one person was quoted on saying that they spent 8 hours to get their time. That is a crazy amount, and it is unbelievable that someone would spend that long on just having their name on a leaderboard. To put them as an honorable mention, thank you Briny Plot for your dedication. Treasure Wars wasn't short of amazing either. The same player with first place in Skywars had taken the crown for Treasure Wars as well. It was then taken by the YouTuber Sharks332, and then the YouTuber Crispy. Just recently, the sword for first was taken by Crits King, taking the lead by 15 seconds. Other categories were not as well known, with survival games and murder mystery just having a few runs. Their days are long over today. Some earlier categories that weren't minigames were the lobby parkour and the famed all games category. Parkour emerged as a popular category. It was a category for people who didn't want to PvP. Parkour ended up causing problems as it had the largest amount of cheaters, with all them having to do is speed up their footage. It was hard to catch, but it could be done. As there is not much optimization for parkour on the Hive, it was on really just who can make the best maneuvers. And then all games. It was inspired by the category All Versions on Java Edition, and it had limited success. It was ambitious for most players, and they had to win every game in one go. Most people took it as they had to do it in a row, but that is false. You just have to win them all in one go. It doesn't matter if you lose one. You just do it again until you win. It drove hard competition between a few players, and it got to the point where a group, Oatmeal and Maples, finished every Hive minigame in just 17 minutes and 40 seconds. There was also an extended version to all games where you would complete every single mode of every single game on the Hive. For example, during the Treasure Wars segment, you would do trios, squads, duos, mega, and solos. And you would do that for every single game. It's hard to do, and only 2 runs have been computed. One of which was rejected because of one issue. It is by far the hardest to pull off. The history to world record progression on the Hive is young, but it holds a lot and goes up to incredible times. It also doesn't hold much, as sometimes the leaderboards were completely taken immediately, like Skywars solos. Most of the big runs people know are from months ago, but there is people still aiming for world record. The timeline mostly occurred from the early stages, and speaking of that, I should get to the timeline. Well, you already know this started back in September, but what happened after that? Well, the first few runs were done and dusted. The mods at the time, if my memory is correct, were me, Alex Was Lost, Insert, Oof64, and possibly Dimitrovin. Most of us had barely modded, except Insert, who was a pretty experienced mod. We all didn't really know what to do, but it was easy at first. There wasn't much to do except verify and manage the small Discord we had. The first true well-known run was Potato Pie 25's 1 minute and 35 second Skywars run. It didn't really become famous until after the creation of the website, where more attention was drawn to it as it was put onto the leaderboards. He was a fast-growing YouTuber and drew more people towards the leaderboard, although it was just a slow trickle at the time. Soon, Potato Forever 1737 got an incredible run for its time in the leaderboard. 1 minute and 15 seconds on Skywars. He also got a 1 minute 48 second run in Treasure Wars, but it was not as recognized as it could have been improved on. He became a widely known runner among the community at the time, and after that, he really dipped out and didn't really return. Around that time, Potato Pie 25 made a video on Hive speedrunning, and it blew up. So many people joined the community and the mod started getting more serious. It was pleasing to the community, but then the pending numbers started to overflow and panic was caused among the moderators. After that, the mods started cracking down and made things more serious. And after that, to be honest, there isn't just that much besides the SMP and tournament, which lasted for a short time. The only really interesting thing that happened recently was that Death Run, its leaderboards were moved over to Hive Speedrunning, the current page. That's the main one. After, there's really not that much. I mean, it's a very big game on speedrun.com, and it's staying that way. But it doesn't really change that much. But it might go forward in the future. We don't know. So, the Hive speedrunning community is good, and it's definitely worthwhile to try out. The people are pretty chill and things go well. There's even a few YouTubers and Hive staff that hang around and help things out. Everyone who tries it seems to love it, and the mod team is pretty solid today. I'll leave the links to things in the description below. I think it is definitely worthwhile to try out. Some people I'd like to thank for this video are Insert here most of all, as he helped give me some background as he has access to the Hive archives. I would also like to thank all the Hive mods for keeping this game interesting and going. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will probably see you in another one coming soon. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.